Letting commercial banks accept dollar deposits is a move aimed at shoring up dwindling foreign reserves. Godwin Emefiele, Nigeria's central bank governor, said the sale of dollars to forex bureaus would be discontinued as they were using up the reserves for illegal transactions. The independent currency changers are selling the dollar at 250 naira compared to the official central bank rate of 197 naira.
I think the new development is a very nice idea to me. Why I said it's a nice idea is because if you look at the Nigerian situation right now, I think the new government are trying to amend a lot of things. So with that amendment, some people will surely go down and other people will surely come up.
The move comes days after a visit by the head of the International Monetary Fund, Christine Lagarde, who told lawmakers that the IMF did not support foreign exchange restrictions.
The CBN foreign policy or policies are confusing everybody now. And they don't even allow one policy to be properly assimilated before they reverse it or they change it or they amend it. And the private sector, the people in the private sector who are affected by these changes are still trying to adjust to one series of changes, policy changes, and they are not fully adjusted, and we are now reversing.
Nigeria is facing its worst economic crisis in years as it must import most of what it consumes. Monthly foreign earnings are said to have plummeted, while demand for foreign exchange has risen sharply over the past decade.
We have already seen the immediate impact. The exchange rate has gone up because without money in the bureau de change, there is no check against what is happening on the street, the parallel market. Now the parallel market now becomes the only source of foreign exchange for people who want to transact businesses. The bureau de change at least give is smaller margin from what you get from the bank, but now on the streets, yeah, the naira is just getting back anyhow, and there's no more control.
Nigeria, an OPEC member state that depends on oil sales for about 95% of its foreign reserves, has been hammered by a collapse in global oil prices. The average import bill for the first 9 months of 2015 is 917.6 billion naira. The country is now trying to diversify away from oil to sectors like agriculture to boost its earnings.
Nigeria has been depending too much on crude oil. Now crude oil revenue is dropping. You have to look for money from somewhere. VAT is a user tax. If you don't use, you don't pay. If you use, you pay. Now, if you have to go to VAT, you can adjust VAT such that some luxury goods are taxed higher than common goods. In other words, sugar you buy in the supermarket is charged differently from maybe car or perfume. You know, you could make those adjustments to VAT, whereby certain items are taxed at 30%, 20%, others are left at 5%, in order to boost the revenue.
To avoid devaluing the currency, the central bank adopted increasingly stringent foreign exchange rules last year and effectively banned dollar access for the purchase of 41 items. The move has been criticized at the World Trade Organization by the United States and the European Union. Leslie Marungu, CCTV.
Now let's get some insight into the recent political and economic rumblings in Nigeria. We're joined by Deji Badmus in Lagos. Deji, welcome to the show. Now, of course, a number of worrying developments in Nigeria right now. And of course, let's start with the Senate's decision to summon CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele next week to the Senate to explain the continuous weakening of the naira against the dollar. Now, what are the expected outcomes of this meeting? And of course, do we expect this to have a significant impact on his currency policies going forward?
Well, Uche, I must tell you that I do not expect that the outcome of that meeting would have any significant impact at all on the CBN's foreign exchange policy, because the CBN has made it very clear that the restrictions it has imposed on the Forex market are very necessary and that they're basically designed to curb speculation, conserve the foreign reserve that, of course, is depleting, and save the currency, that's the naira. Well, of course, you would expect that when Emefiele meets with the senators, he would basically tell them what he's been saying all this while and what he said recently about the cause of this problem. I mean, he's come out clearly to say, look, the reason we're having this challenge is just because Nigeria is earning less from oil. It's not earning as much as it used to earn. So the CBN's dollar earning has really gone down, and then the import bill has gone up in this country. So where you have that kind of situation, it just will be difficult to be able to meet the foreign exchange needs of especially domestic importers now. So if you ask me, I would say we just have to wait and see. But there's no question at all that the Senate would want to ask him to probably review the restrictions. But I want to believe the CBN governor would try as much as possible to convince senators to see a reason why those restrictions must be in place. But right. By the way, let me say this, that we have also seen some easing of the restrictions. For instance, we've seen people are now allowed to deposit dollars into their DOM accounts. So there have been some easing of the restrictions, so to speak, Uche.
Right, and of course we know he has faced a lot of pressure, even from the IMF chief Lagarde, to relax the CBN's policy on foreign exchange. Now, at this stage, is there any indications that we may see a further review of some of these Forex restrictions?
Well, there's a possibility that after that meeting, there might be some review, but the CBN governor has made it clear, and even the president too has made it clear that he still does not see any reason why there should be a review. But we might see some kind of review, but how much impact that review would have, we do not know. Would it shore up the value of the naira? Are we going to see some kind of devaluation? I really doubt it. The government has made it clear that it does not plan to devalue, and you know what devaluing would mean, especially for the budget. I'm talking about the 2016 budget now that is prepared on the benchmark of about the exchange rate for that budget is about a 197 or 198. So devaluing would definitely make nonsense of that budget and right. would definitely affect, you know, the figures in that budget. But we just have to wait and see what the CBN decides to do. The CBN governor now decides to do after that meeting.
I mean, Deji, another political drama currently brewing in Nigeria is, of course, reports that President Buhari's aide doctored and circulated fake copies of the budget proposals. Now, have we heard anything about the changes that were made? Any update on this issue? And of course, this is stemming from them saying that the budget actually went missing earlier this week. Now, what has been said around this issue so far? Any announcements?
Well, Uche, what we know for now is that, you know, all the sides have come out to actually say that the budget wasn't missing. And to be candid, Uche, it's difficult to imagine, you know, the entire budget of a country to just go missing like that. Anyway, the House of Representatives has come out to say the budget was never missing, that the budget was always with them. The Senate too has come out to clarify that the budget wasn't missing, but that there was a mix-up, that there's a possibility that the presidency actually withdrew the budget the president actually submitted when he appeared before the joint house now to present the budget. But the presidency hasn't said anything. Basically, what the presidency is saying is that, look, the senators have all come out to say they will begin work on the budget next week, and that they are looking forward to that they would not do anything at all to undermine the responsibility of senators, the responsibility of parliamentarians, and that, you know, there's just no cause for alarm. So the budget isn't missing, in fact. So the budget is still there. And the senators and House of Rep members have said they will begin work on it next week.
Well, thank you so much, Deji, for those insights. Of course, he's joining us from Lagos.